That's a fact. And no matter how unachievable that goal or dream might be, if you keep practicing and keep working towards it, one day you get very close.
Train harder. So what? Nobody cares. Train harder.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocked him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jake Paul reportedly works alongside Tyson Fury as he prepares for the Anthony Joshua fight. Fury claims Jake has progressed toward his long-term ambitions, calling this matchup a major step. He thinks Jake will push hard to reach it, labeling the fight a balanced challenge since Jake now competes seriously.
And even if you don't actually achieve the biggest target in your life, you might get close to it. So it's definitely worth pursuing. But someone who doesn't have goals and doesn't have a target.
Jake Paul is training with full intensity, stating he's focused on eventually becoming a world champion. His camp is taken seriously as he works on discipline, conditioning, and sharpening every weakness. Jake insists his effort will pay off, determined to prove he's far more than just a celebrity boxer.
Not be treated like I'm Jake Paul or a famous person. No, like they treat me like I'm trying to become a world champion, which is exactly the case.
Tyson Fury thinks Jake Paul genuinely has a chance to defeat Anthony Joshua, emphasizing how much Jake has advanced. Fury argues people shouldn't overlook Jake anymore, saying he's turned into a disciplined fighter capable of surprising experienced heavyweights through his growth, effort, and increasingly focused approach to training.
Talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force. And I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Boxing has always mixed business with sport, and Barry Hearn makes this clear when discussing Anthony Joshua. The seasoned promoter argues Joshua should seriously weigh a fight with Jake Paul, noting that boxing is driven mainly by financial opportunity. According to Hearn, the money involved cannot be ignored. He explains that although some may question how legitimate or competitive the bout would be, the chance to secure a huge payday remains a major factor in a boxer's choices. Promoters, fighters, and fans all consider revenue, and a Joshua-Paul matchup could easily exceed usual expectations. For that reason, Hearn says dismissing the idea only on sporting merit overlooks the industry's reality. If the fight can be made now and another major bout happens later, he believes taking the Jake Paul match makes complete financial sense.
Who should fight Jake Paul? What's your view on that, Barry?
Money. Don't be silly. You know, I mean, you're mostly sensible, aren't you?
Mostly.
Of course, we're all purists at heart. But purism doesn't necessarily pay the bills. And boxing is a money business. And the day we don't accept that and then move on, we won't understand why certain things happen.
So if that fight's there next week and it's signable and they can do Joshua against Tyson Fury next year, take the Jake Paul fight in December, go and do it.
100.
Sports analyst Simon Jordan has discussed Jake Paul's unconventional path in boxing. Jordan notes that Paul's rise from YouTube personality to a fighter taking on elite athletes is highly unusual. Traditional boxing expects structured development, experience through amateur circuits, and steady progression against stronger opponents. Paul's approach interrupts that model, causing resistance and doubt within the boxing world. Many purists question whether such a path respects the sport's traditions, whether the competition level is sufficient, and whether this trajectory can last. Jordan highlights that while Paul's journey is impressive in visibility, it contrasts sharply with the sport's established standards, raising ongoing debate about his place and long-term legitimacy in professional boxing.
As a boxing purist, it doesn't sit well, but as a normal working class lad, I've been asked by builders, would you fight Jake Paul for £5 million? I never got £5 million for fighting anyone else in a fight, so it's the silliest question in the world. I've been retired 7 years. I'm still very confident. If you give me 3 weeks to get off the couch, I'll probably still beat him with one hand. It's not. Yeah. He's not a good fighter, so it's not even being disrespectful to him as a YouTuber, as a presenter in what he does. He blows me out the water. That's his line of work. But you're stepping into boxing, another profession now. To call it like a Canelo out, I think is disrespectful. To call Anthony Joshua out is lunacy. But we know why it's happening and why he does it.
Forget Jake
Puts
Paul.
asses on
Forget
seats and he
Jake
sells a lot of
Paul.
tickets.
Paul. I mean, Jake Paul's going to do what Jake Paul does. But Anthony Joshua, and with respect to you and what you did and didn't earn in your career, Anthony Joshua has earned a king's ransom.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be fiddled with this, does he?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. But again, all I keep seeing from people out there is, when is enough enough? And I get that. But when you're retired at 33, 34, and you've got to make that last, now you've got more experience than me in this, dealing with a lot of footballers in the past as well, and business people who have to make a certain amount of budget last.
Despite criticism, Jake Paul has undeniably delivered the biggest paydays to several fighters, showing his financial influence on boxing. Yet his behavior isn't praised by everyone. Observers note he has often shown disrespect toward established legends and traditional boxers, calling out opponents in ways some view as dismissive. This creates tension in the sport. Paul brings money and attention but challenges long-standing norms, leading to mixed reactions from veterans and purists who recognize both his impact and the controversy surrounding the manner in which he promotes himself and approaches boxing culture.
Like Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will.
I'm so sorry for my English, but I have to. See, Jake Paul does lots of good things. He has a camp for kids where he, I guess, gives training and coaching and gloves and environment for kids in Puerto Rico. He helped lots of boxers to get the bigger purse than they deserve. He has done some good things, and you are kind of trying to be on his side, but then he says something like that. Like, you almost are on his side, and then he says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua and Canelo at the same night or whatever. Jake, fighting Anthony Joshua and Canelo is not fighting Tyron Woodley or 60 years old Mike Tyson with Alzheimer's. Anthony Joshua is able to literally kill you. No doubt. If his mission is to kill you on the ring, he will kill you. You lost against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won against you. What Anthony Joshua? What Canelo, my friend? Canelo, you would need the liver replacement after Canelo fight. I promise you. I don't know. So stop doing that shit. Do the good things you are doing, and we will be on your side. Just stop saying crazy shit.
The discussion around a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight goes beyond finances. Comparisons to Gervonta Davis's exhibition with Paul highlight the difficulty of such matchups. While Davis seemed small beside Paul, Joshua poses a far greater threat with his size and experience. Analysts say Joshua wouldn't treat the event like an exhibition but as a real contest where power and skill matter. This mindset mirrors Joshua's professional standards, making the fight more serious than typical celebrity bouts and raising legitimate concerns about danger for Paul.
One, yes, that's the former heavyweight champ. Why is he fighting Jake Paul? And two, why is Jake Paul putting his health and well-being on the line? Because someone asked me on Twitter, Wade, if Jake Paul gets knocked out, will his career be over? Buddy, his life may be over if he gets knocked out by AJ, because that dude put Francis Ngannou flat on his back, and I had never seen Francis Ngannou hurt before. Again, it's boxing, not MMA. Jake has a little more experience, but we're talking about a massive size difference. AJ's still relatively young and still relatively got something left in the tank, and he's only fought the world-class guys for the last 10 years. This would be Jake's not only hardest fight, most dangerous fight of his career. If Jake is doing this, it could signal the last one. I'm not even joking. This could signal Jake being like, I'm having one more of these and I'm out. Because where do you go from Anthony Joshua? We'll get into that part in a second, but the Netflix thing. We know that Anthony Joshua is an exclusive fighter to DAZN. Eddie Hearn has stated that multiple times. AJ, I'm pretty sure, even has a piece of DAZN. I could be wrong about that, but he signed a mega deal years ago with them. So for this fight to take place on Netflix would mean DAZN would say, you can have one of our biggest cash draws, and I maybe in a revenue share thing, or maybe Netflix pays them some money, but you can have our biggest cash draw and we don't have an affiliation with it. That seems a bit unrealistic. But having said that, this isn't a report from anybody in the camp. This is not MVP saying it. This is not Eddie Hearn saying it. This is Mike Coppinger, who I guess has talked to people in the camp, but an independent source saying that they are finalizing a deal. Not that they're in talks. They are finalizing a deal. So this is, again, we're talking 1 yard line, first and goal.
Gareth A. Davies points out the major physical advantage Joshua holds over Paul. At 6 feet 7 inches and much heavier than the 6 feet 2 inches Paul, Joshua's power and size give him a clear upper hand. This difference matters, affecting strategy and overall risk in the ring. Davies says that combined with Joshua's top-level skills, the matchup becomes a major challenge for Paul. At the same time, the contrast in stature and ability boosts the fight's appeal, creating a spectacle that draws significant attention and curiosity from audiences.
I'm not sure Anthony Joshua's going to play the game like everyone else. And it could be fairly calamitous, I think, if Joshua stepped into a ring with Jake Paul. But we're going to watch it because we want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out. We do. Everyone wants to see it. I mean, I've even said it to him. I was looking forward to Mike Tyson him knocking the fuck out. Doesn't surprise me. He's looking for the biggest names out there. And it just shows that he's prepared to put himself on the line to promote himself.
Would it be more competitive than the Ngannou fight, in your opinion, or less?
That's a very good analogy. It's a very good comparison. Much less competitive. I mean, I think it's got to be at that level of exhibition bout. I think it's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Very dangerous. He's probably got one chance to try and counterpunch. And if he catches Joshua, he might do something, but I see that as 100%.
Another major factor is Joshua's exceptional knockout strength, which Davies describes in dramatic terms, comparing it to a powerful mule kick. Such force is intimidating and can dominate a fight. Analysts argue that even a small mistake by Paul could end the bout quickly, increasing both the danger and the anticipation. Joshua's punching power reinforces the matchup's serious sporting element, ensuring that alongside business motives, genuine athletic stakes and real risks remain central to the discussion.
This one, you got a guy who's 6'7" to Jake Paul 6'2", probably weighs 30 pounds more than him if he's 220, and who hits like a blooming mule kicks. So, and you know, yes, Anthony Joshua's had issues against very skilled boxers, and he's been caught by Andy Ruiz, and he's been caught by Alexander Usyk twice, and out-hustled and outboxed, and knocked out by Daniel Dubois. But Jake Paul is not the kind of not the kind of guy who is going to be able to pick him apart in.
Michael Bisping analyzes Jake Paul's risk-reward situation, noting that Paul faces little real downside. A win over Joshua would bring massive praise, while even a loss would boost his fame and public attention. This differs from traditional boxing, where defeats can damage careers. For Paul, the potential rewards are huge and the risks limited, which explains why he continues seeking major, high-profile fights.
Out there on an island by myself, everyone says the same thing, and he would potentially prove all of those critics wrong. Well, yeah, he would, maybe, unless there's some funny business, right? And for Anthony Joshua, as I said, this is kind of a lose-lose, right? Because if he wins, people are still going to say, well, you only beat Jake Paul, right? The man that lost to Tommy Fury, after all, right? That's the only loss in his record, Tommy Fury. You're telling me that Tommy Fury is going to beat him, and then Anthony Joshua's not going to beat him? So if he beats him, he gets no credit. And if he loses, then holy can you imagine? That would be the biggest downfall of any boxer's career. The reality is, He's not going to lose. There is no way on this earth that Jake Paul can beat Anthony Joshua in a boxing match. That's just a fact, okay? Look at what he did to Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou hits as hard as a Ford Escort, going 100 miles an hour or whatever that stat was. Comes from the UFC. He was the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. Has a good go against Tyson Fury, but goes up against Anthony Joshua and gets flatlined. Every single punch that was thrown was landed, and every punch that landed put Francis Ngannou down, okay? So to stand there and think that Jake Paul, who's much, much smaller, who has way less experience, that doesn't weigh anything near him, is going to have a chance, and not to mention the technical abilities. Let's just talk about that. Not to mention the technical abilities or experience. We're talking about an Olympic gold medalist, remember, from back in the day, who's then gone on to become a true British boxing icon, or a worldwide boxing icon, let's be honest, right?
Despite the financial incentives, critics highlight a major obstacle in Jake Paul's progress, his defeat to Tommy Fury. Fury, although still developing in boxing, managed to expose weaknesses in Paul's game. Analysts suggest that if Paul struggled against Fury, who lacks the experience of a champion like Joshua, the danger rises considerably with Joshua. This context shapes expectations, indicating that fame and profit cannot entirely make up for technical gaps. Experts also note that while Joshua's size and skill give him clear advantages, facing an unpredictable opponent like Paul requires strategy. Joshua may need to stay cautious, avoiding unnecessary risks while staying dominant. Such an approach reflects the challenge of mixing elite boxing with celebrity-driven matches, where publicity, revenue, and competitive fairness must all be balanced.
Tells me that this is going to be just an exhibition, and AJ should wipe the floor with him within the first round, right? And if he doesn't, are we getting mugged as punters?
It's on Netflix, so if you've got a net...
No, but whoever is punters, let's say punters, the watching audience, right, around the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah,
I genuinely think it's dangerous.
Well, but that's
putting a world heavyweight champion,
but then the cynic,
top 4 or 5 fighters in the world.
Then the cynic in me tells me,
YouTuber who's never had a proper fight.
Right, the cynic in me straight away goes, I think AJ's probably going to be told, and I don't know this, don't go heavy on him the first.
No, he can't afford to do that. Anthony Joshua can't afford to do that.
Okay, well, that's where I'm wrestling with my own mind right now. You asked me the question. How do I feel about it? I don't know what to make of it, mate. I seriously don't know what to make of it. I seriously don't.
I think it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
I'll watch it because...
I don't know whether I will, JJ. Honestly, I probably will close the vote. Right now, I don't know whether I will.
For Joshua, stepping in the ring with Paul would demand detailed preparation. His size and knockout strength offer a major edge, but analysts warn that underestimating Paul's unusual style could cause problems. Coaches would stress controlled aggression, awareness, and careful timing to keep the fight safe while protecting Joshua's reputation. This matchup becomes a mixed challenge, part sport, part entertainment, and part business decision, requiring a balance between financial attraction and maintaining professional legitimacy.
Mayweather. No, Mayweather. I didn't watch that. Who fought Mayweather? Oh, it was. I tell you, it was. Who was the MMA fighter?
Logan Paul.
The
one that you didn't know the name of. Yeah, Logan
Paul, right?
He fought Floyd Mayweather.
I didn't watch that one either. Right?
I know, but Jake Paul's got a bit more boxing credential. He has because he.
What about McGregor? Who did McGregor fight? Did he fight someone? McGregor, have I made that up?
Yeah, I don't know. Where's your head at?
I don't know, mate.
I mean,
they all
it's all over the gaff. You gave Andy your number and you gave him the talk.
His name's Adam.
Adam, sorry. You gave Adam the number.
No.
You said 03717 22.
I gave him the sports.
You gave him the sports number.
No, but I don't.
Get your head out.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether I will watch it, actually, if you want the honest truth.
Well, we asked for some calls and people have phoned up. They're interested in it to have their say. Let's go to Paul, who's a Man United fan. All right, Paul?
All right, P-Dog?
Yeah. You all right? How you doing?
I'm all right, Paul. Look, obviously big news. What do you make of this?
I think, so I'm a big boxing fan. I think Jake Paul's got a better chance against Joshua.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.